Coach, thanks. As mentioned, we are on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. It's sold out Heinz Field in the Steel City. Moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Under 10. Friday.
On second down, it's Carson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man, it's Vanette. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
That's trash.
Throwing again. Wilson. Flushed out right. Out to the right. He gets it to Lockett. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards the pickup there.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
12. I can't believe they even let you play.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This is Carson. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a 1st quarter lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
All right, now, 180. 54. Hey, let's get off the field.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson, stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
5 yards on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, Carson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Steelers, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Black 20. Mike 5-4. In your face. Snickers, 66.
From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. So you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
Right there in the middle, 55. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Watch that. Whip. Watch that.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Mixon. Mixon hit, and the ball is out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Middle. Tight end right. 4 down.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The first catch there for the NFL's leading receiver in Week 1 in terms of yardage. Also a first down. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to Mixon. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Pick it up. Bang, 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 bang.
Here's a run with Mixon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hey, pick your game up.
Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here. Mike, what? 315. All day, baby. All day, all day, all day. Check 4, check 4. 14. Alert. 55 on. 55. And let's get good touch.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Eluding the pressure right. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Here we go.
A gain of 21 yards. And the Seahawks, 1st down.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
The Steelers' 11-yard line.
Let's get it.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun, Wilson being chased out left. This will be caught at about the 6. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
They go read option with Wilson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
At their own 25-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Wilson. Forced out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's Vince Williams who gets the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Let's get off the field. Hey, check right. Watching your five. Get ready. Get ready. Let's go. 3 minutes forward.
To throw is Wilson. Escaping the pressure run. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll run on first down. It's Carson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Myers' kick is good. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. Well, what do you think? Maybe a little disappointment there. They had a pretty nice drive going at the end of the half, and they have to settle for 3.
Oh, definitely a little bit of disappointment there because when you kick a short field goal, you shake your head a little bit like, could we have done a little bit more? Could we have gotten one more shot to try and get 6? But with what little time was left on the clock, I think it was a smart play.
9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or 2 there, but they do get him down. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Roethlisberger. Throw that side complete to Smith-Schuster. That one good for 26 and a first down. Yeah, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Mixon with a first down carry. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check Mike 33. Check Mike 33. Hey, Haywood.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Stepping up, he'll try. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Hey, high 7. 55. I'm coming after you.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play.
Now Carson fumbles the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Stop your whining.
Here's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They toss to Mixon. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd and goal, Roethlisberger buying time to his now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
brings up third down.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is third down and 12. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete. Had to pass there, third and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for third and short, because when it's third and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 8-yard line.
That! Like 80! Jack 16. Push him back. Back. Like I said. Tighten it.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
As I was watching the play unfold, my eyes immediately went to the referee because I wanted to see, was he going to put those 2 hands over his head and that universal signal for a safety? But it's at the 1-yard line. You know you're playing with fire when you get sacked that close to the goal line.
Now Roethlisberger back into his end zone. He's going to air one out. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Trey Flowers picks it, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now, because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
He's got to figure something out, because the current formula is not working. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Ryan Switzer on the return. The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a first and 10 at their own 12-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent.
And my goodness, another interception. picked off by Jamar Taylor. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Carson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Wilson to throw. Flushed out right. That one going to be complete to David Moore. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 3rd down pickup of 5. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up alive. It's a foot race. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are able to make this a close game again.
Big score. First step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within a score here. Extra point put through by Boswell. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Carson. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Carson. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. Charles, defensively, 1 timeout left. Do you use it here, or do you let it roll to the 2-minute warning?
I would use it here because you're going to get the 2-minute warning stoppage as well, and then that means you have to snap the ball again. Something could happen. Something could go awry. You could get the ball back. I wouldn't let it run.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now Wilson, operating from the gun, dancing to his left. He's got the tight end, Vanette, and he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Switzer.
180. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Double bump. Check back 33.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
180.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been a...
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? He'll need to.
Bravo. Check. 3 down. Hey, check Mike 33. Check Mike 33. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.
Crunch time, defense.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee.